we get under contract. We go under contract, right? Buyer and seller both agree. They've signed the sales contract. Woohoo! We're going to go to settlement. This is very exciting. The first thing that we do is send a contract copy to obviously everybody, right? The buyers and the sellers and their agents. And then we send it to the lender because we need the lender to get started on the loan. And then we send it to the title company. At that point, the title company will do their title examination. They're going to research the title. Okay, they're looking for marketable title. Okay, so let's talk about this. They typically go back 40 to 60 years. And what they do is, I'm going to use this chain as an example because it's the perfect definition, really. They research the chain of title. So, for example, all right, and even if it's a new house, guys, the land was still there. So they have to research land. So 40 to 60 years ago, there was this particular owner number one, right? We're just gonna call him owner number one. Now, they may have had a few liens put on and a few liens paid off. And then they sell it to buyer number one. So buyer number one now becomes owner number two. And owner number two may have 2 or 3 liens put on and 2 or 3 liens paid off. All right. So they're looking for liens that didn't get paid off, that got brought forward and brought forward and brought forward. Because if that's the case, the buyer, right, you and I, if we're the buyer or our clients, they don't want to buy a home with a lien on it, right? That's no good. Imagine, and let's talk about what that is. So let's just say that I put a brand new kitchen. And well, for mine, the only thing left in my house is the master bathroom. I got to redo that. Now, everything else has been redone. All right, the master bathroom. Okay. I decided to finally get my master bathroom done. I can't wait, guys. It's the last thing in the house. I just am excited to do it because I did everything but my own bathroom. So I get my master bathroom done. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I want to sell this house now. I get that master bathroom done. But maybe I don't like what they did, or I ran out of money or whatever, and I don't pay the contractors. Now they put a lien on my house. And let's say that I paid, I mean, this is crazy, but I'm just going to say $30,000. I mean, that better be a nice bathroom for $30,000. But let's just say $30,000. Okay, I would never spend that much on a bathroom, but I'm just using this as a number, guys. Okay, and then let's say a buyer buys my home. Okay, that lien, if the title company doesn't do a good job and find it and get it paid off, make sure that I pay it off, well, guess what happens? It passes on to the new buyer. Can you imagine buying my house? And right now, my neighbor just sold her house for $651,000. All right, so you bought my house for $651,000. And then you found out that you owe $681,000. How would you feel? Would you be upset? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, you'd be upset. No, you don't want to buy a home with a lien on it, which is why we love our title companies. That's why we're careful of who we use, because we only want the ones that are really good. The ones excuse me, the ones that, thank you, the ones that actually do a good job examining the title, right? They make sure the chain of title is complete and they're not missing anything, okay? Because other than that, your buyer will inherit liens, and that would be terrible. So the title company's job is to find those liens, and then when they discover that I didn't pay my $30,000 bathroom bill, they would just take it out of my proceeds and pay the bill for me. That way, they're making sure the buyer gets clear title. Now, I might throw a tissy fit, but they don't care. They're like, well, then if you don't want us to take it out, then you can't sell your house until you get that lien removed. And the buyer's going to be like, oh, no, you promised to sell to me, so you're paying it off and we're moving forward. I'm kind of stuck. I got to pay it off, right? If it was something I wasn't happy with before, I probably should have gone to court and resolved that prior to going on the market. Other than that, I'm stuck with it, all right? So, again, they're looking for clouds on the title. They call them clouds. It's a problem, okay? So, marketable title means it's reasonably free from doubt of a lawsuit. right? There's no evidence that supports that I didn't pay any bills. There's no liens on my property. And going 40 to 60 years back, of this property and land, there's only been 3 owners of my property. 3, that's it. In the history of the property, there's been 3. That's it. Okay. And so not much to research, but still, right? If they go 40, they can go 60 years back. There's only 3 owners. That's it. And that's the way it is. So if they research, but some of them have 15, 20, 30, 40 owners. Like people are living in there for not very long. I mean, there's some of them that are a lot of conveyances. This property has conveyed many times, it's sold many, many times. And so they have to go back through. All right, what else are they looking for? Well, 2 people bought the home, but 1 person sold it. Did the other person die? Right? If so, do we have a death certificate? Do we have proof of that? Because if 2 people bought, 2 people have to sell. Period, final, end of it. And guys, you'll go through this too, because I have sat down with sellers and they're like, well, this person doesn't pay the mortgage. And I'm like, I know, I mean, but that doesn't matter. There's 2 people on public record, which means I have to have 2 people to sign my listing agreement and sign the sales contract. They're like, no, the other person's not going to sign it. I'm like, well, then I can't sell it. All the owners have to agree. Well, they don't even pay the mortgage. They don't even live here. I know. I mean, I can't help you. This is the way the law works. So if I see, and I have had that happen, guys, where there was an owner who apparently died and there was literally no death certificate. I assume the person died overseas because I don't know why they wouldn't be a death certificate, other than they died overseas. The title company did find an obituary and said, hey, but guys, you and I can write our obituary tomorrow. It doesn't mean we're dead. And that's a little bit tricky situation. So depending on how far back it is, it could really be a problem. Well, I shouldn't even say that. It could be really far back and there could be an heir that has rights to the property, right? Because, well, no, my father never died and he never sold the house. My mom, my wicked stepmother sold it out from under him. She said he had died, but he never really did, which means I own this property, right? That could happen. So a good title company is going to study the chain of titles. They're going to look for clouds and get them resolved, okay? They're going to do what's called an abstract of title, which for me is just a summary of the chain of titles. It's just a breakdown. That's all it is. It's a summary. It's just a smaller timeline. And then what they do is they submit that report to a title insurance company. That title insurance company then looks at the abstract and decides whether or not they want to issue title insurance. Now, if a title insurance company refuses to issue a policy, you and I should not be buying that house. That means there's major problems with it. Now, if they do, that means it's reasonably free. There still could be problems with the title, guys. It could always happen. And if that's the case, thank goodness we have title insurance, should we buy it, because remember, it's optional for owners. It'll cover us. So if somebody knocks on our door and says, hey, you're in my house, and I'm like, no, I bought this house. They're like, no. Nope. 20 years ago, my, so-and-so in my family, they sold the house. They told them that, or maybe my father owned this house. And guess what? He died. It was supposed to come to me, but the state took it because they didn't know I was the heir. Well, guess what? I'm the heir and I can prove it. So your house belongs to me. What the heck am I supposed to do? Well, thank goodness I got title insurance. My title insurance will cover the bill for me, thank goodness. But if I don't have it, I'm stuck on my own fighting that battle, okay? So they're going to issue a certificate of title. And then, guys, color of title and Torrent system, you're never going to see, not in real life and not even on the test, Okay, so don't worry about it too much. But it's the color of title. Again, there could be undisclosed defects. Very similar to, we use the word cloud. Color of title, again, it just means the same thing. There's some kind of defect. We call them a cloud. We don't call them color of title. Maybe in some parts of the world they use it. I don't know. But we don't say that here. It's just not our typical language. Okay, color of title, maybe they use that in other states. Okay, but what it means is basically the same thing as a cloud. There's some kind of problem. And the torrent system, we don't use that either, is a place where title company can register the title with the court system. We don't use the torrent system. We have a different system that we use, but you and I will never be part of that because we don't work at a title company and we won't be doing that. That's the title company's job. So their job is to record the title at the courthouse. Why? Because we want the whole world to know that Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, Mr. Buyer, whoever they are, it doesn't really matter. This person owns this property, which is awesome. It's public notice at that point. All right, let's look at some